Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoot program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of who the fuck you think you fucking with. I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Check this shit out. So I've been getting a bunch of calls from my loved ones, people that support me. And they're like, take this down, deal with this privately. But I say, yo, they've ruined me publicly. They've tried to smear my testimony, make me out to look crazy, got people looking at me sideways, got people thinking that I'm gay, and I'm not because I was molested by a pedophile. So this is how we do this. Since y'all want to try to shut me down publicly with sending out cease and desist letters, let's get in the room with the lawyers and let's take a polygraph test. I'm going to take the test, and when I take the test, you can do whatever it is that you need to do. When you take it, and when you fail, you take this fade, and you take that bit. Because I'm tired of being bullied, and I'm not going to be bullied no more. Check this shit out. So I've been getting...
I said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tough Love Podcast. I am your host, Mario J. We got some things that we got to talk about, folks. Come on in, grab something to drink, get your popcorn, grab your homeboy, get some wine, whatever you need to do so we can have this tough conversation. We need to get into it. Are black boys not being protected? You rape me. We need to have this conversation. But before we have this conversation, I want you guys to look at something that I posted on my Facebook page that I found very interesting when it came to talking about black young men who have been molested, who have been raped, who have been sexually assaulted. First of all, there's not a lot of people talking about it. There is not a lot of people talking about it. I even tagged some men in this shit. And I feel a certain type of way because I was like, look, I want you guys to talk about this on your platform. And a lot of them did not respond. A lot of them did not respond. They were talking about everything else under the sun, but they did not respond to this. And I wanted to send this public service announcement to all of those men. Suppose the situation involved you, involve one of your loved ones. Would you want people to fucking talk about it then? Yes, I'm going in. I'm going the fuck in. Let's go. Let's go. So I want to show y'all exactly what I posted so that way y'all can kind of see some of the feedback that I got back. Let's go ahead and get this thing up here real quick. Okay, let me make sure y'all can see this. Hold on. Okay, so make sure it's a little bit bigger for y'all. You know how people got bad eyes. Okay, so what it says is, it simply says is, I had a young man ask me why there's no Me Too movement for little boys and young men who have been raped or sexually assaulted. Where is the advertisement to support these victims? Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now how I felt about the situation in regards to this young man asking me about this or whatever case to be. And I really wanted to kind of man up on him and be like, hey, you know, there's advertisement everywhere. You know, we're in the schools talking about it. There's big brothers talking about it. We're talking about it in church. But the reality of it is everywhere we go that is popular, that is an urban community, there's not a lot of people talking about it. There's not a lot of people lending a hand or lending assistance or providing support for these victims. So I wanted to show y'all some things that was being said on the post. Let's go down it, okay? These are some of the men that I tagged into the whatever case. Like I said, very few men responded. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, to each their own, but I kind of felt a certain type of way about it, to be honest, because, of course, some of these men are on my timeline. So I see what is more, they're more interested in doing. So, again, to each their own. But, again, you know what I'm saying? We have some responses saying too many are ashamed. It's true. They need to start one like the women did. Now, I want to stop right quick before I go on to anything else, okay? They need to start one like the women did. Are you fucking shitting me? Are we playing a game right now? First of all, ladies and gentlemen, when children get molested, sexually assaulted, or raped, that should encompass all children. Can you imagine your son, your brother, your dad being a victim and no one was there to defend them, or once it happened, there was no positive outlet for these men to recover, and now these men grow up all fucked up? Can you imagine that? It's a lot of Me Too's. Hashtag Me Too. Hashtag Me Too. The same Me Too movement that took down R. Kelly, right? The same Me Too movement that jumped on Bill Cosby. But Me Too wasn't nowhere around when it came to, what's his name? What's that big guy name to do the muscle thing or whatever case may be with his chest or whatever? Tracy, Terry. I'm just curious, do black young men and boys deserve the same respect, deserve the same protection as these young women and girls? And I'm just surprised that no one's in an uproar, in an outcry about that. And I was very surprised to hear, like, hey, they need to start one like the women did. Who is they? People? Humans? Adults? Role models? Parents? Who is they? Who is they? Because you can't say just the men need to start it, because my thought process is, well, aren't men supposed to protect their children? Aren't women supposed to protect their children? Aren't adults supposed to protect their children? So why would just women be responsible for starting the Me Too and not say, hey, everybody's including this? Every child, man and woman, every boy and girl is encompassed in this Me Too. If it's happened to you, if you've been a victim of this, we are going to help you all. To me personally, I find it very irresponsible for somebody to say, well, we're only doing something for the little girls. As a man, and this is what's so weird about it. I have daughters. So it's great. It's awesome to have something out there for daughters. But suppose I had sons. Y'all see the bureaucracy in this shit? Like, so you're telling me that I need to focus on my daughter's support. I need to focus on my daughter getting over or getting through an issue in regards to sexual assault, being raped, being molested. I need to focus on her mental. But if it happens to my son, I'm just hoping this little motherfucker get over it. I'm hoping he grows up and be productive. I'm hoping some type of way he can lock it down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys just seen the earlier clip that I just played, but the fact, Terry Crews, thank you very much, Phil. Thank you very, very much, Philly. I don't know if you just seen what I just played for you guys, but the fact of the matter is, this guy named Raz B, I think a lot of you guys know him from B2K with Omarion and the rest of those guys or whatever case may be. Allegedly, he was raped by a gentleman named, I guess it was his manager or his producer, named Chris Stokes. And he was supposedly, allegedly raping them, all of them. So my thought process is that, you know, I understand that when you're a victim of something, it is very difficult for someone else to tell you what you should be doing, how you should be responding. Being a man, you know what I'm saying, that was in the military, actually responsible for helping and assisting those personnel that were sexually assaulted, that were raped, that were molested. I can tell you that certain people move a certain type of way when they have been a victim of something. Raz B allegedly claims that he was raped by Chris Stokes. And my thought process is, this was a couple years ago. This man now comes online and says, hey, when I see you, Chris Stokes, I'm ready to catch a fade. Me personally, this is just me as a man. Bro, if you rape me, you're going to catch more than a fade. You're going to catch more than a fade. And I'm asking, like, where is his family at? Where is his support system? See, this is my thought process on the Raz B situation, because I feel like, first of all, Raz B, you have resources. You have money to get lawyers. You have money to get help. Why are you online talking about when I see you, you're going to catch a fade? Can somebody explain that to me? Why not hit him in the pockets? Take him to court, sue him. It's like, oh, well, you know, we all can get together and I'll take a lie detector. Man, at this point, I ain't trying to hear nothing about no lie detector test. All right? It's on site. And I ain't making no public announcements. When I see you, it's on site. Now, again, this is not about victimizing the victim. This is about trying to understand, like, there is a difference between someone who gets molested that has no resources, someone that gets raped that has no resources, someone that gets sexually assaulted that has no resources. There's a difference. When you have resources, more support is available. How many people in the urban community know people who've gotten sexually assaulted, raped, molested, and they had nobody to turn to? Matter of fact, their families even swept it up under the rug. They told a mom that was around, they told some family member or a friend that was around, and nobody chose to help them. Well, you got to think about it. When you're a celebrity, how many resources do you have available? How many resources do you have available? How much money do you have available to get support? And I just feel like at this particular point, like he said, hey, I'm older now. Use your resources and show people that have been a victim like yourself how you handle shit. Be responsible in how you handle your shit. Go ahead and hit that like button. We got to talk about this. I'm going to drop the link so people can come on and we can talk about this or whatever. But what I really wanted to do was really share this information with you guys, because I felt like, hey, what the hell? But let me show you some more responses or whatever case may be. But I really took me back when it says they need to start one like the women did. I hate that statement. I hate that comment was made on my fucking page. I hate that. This is so much like, we have so many issues with gender wars right now. Even with the children, we've separated. Well, let the men take care of the boys and the women take care of the girls. No. If you touch my child, I'm going to give you the smoke. I don't care if you are a boy or a girl. If it's my child, I'm going to give you the smoke. If I'm going to create something for children in regards to making sure that we all, we know that we're here to protect you. We're here to provide you support. We're here to provide you resources. Why would that only be for one fucking gender? Why would you feel comfortable enough to say, well, the women started theirs, the men need to start theirs? Why wasn't it started for all children? Why did we separate it? Why wasn't the young boys who are getting molested and raped and sexually assaulted, why wasn't they considered in the conversation? Somebody talk to me. Somebody talk to me. Why wasn't they considered in the conversation? Why didn't their lives matter? Why didn't their sexual assault happenings matter? Why didn't them being a victim matter? We are doing a poor job as adults by separating every single thing. Everything is a fucking gender war. We talking about high value men and high value women. Can you imagine going to a bunch of men or women going to a bunch of women saying, we only want to protect these children, not those children. Because we got such an issue with men that we only want to protect these little girls. What these little boys do to you? What did these little boys do to you? Are black young men and boys protected? And then now the question is, who really cares now? Who really goddamn gives a damn? Let's look at these comments, man. Come on, let's get to these goddamn comments. This shit pissed me off. So it says, hey, they need to start their own, start one like the women did. Yes, sexual assault and abuse obviously is not limited to women or adults for that matter. I can imagine the feeling when you were asked this question. Abuse typically occurs in childhood from both sexes, and sexual abuse should be addressed with this in mind. And they, other people are saying, we talked about resources. Somebody talked about Amazon. I believe this, the revolutionary movement. I believe it may be some type of book or whatever case may be. They start talking about Oprah and Tyler Perry raising awareness about male sexual abuse. And that's great. That's awesome. The issue is that where is that being promoted at? Where is that being promoted at, folks? Where is that being promoted at? I'm just saying, where is that being promoted at? Right now, if Oprah and Tyler Perry have come together and created something to promote awareness for sexual assault for young men and boys, I ain't seen it. I'm just saying, it ain't been on the news. I ain't got no email. I ain't get no text message about it. I'm just saying that we do a great job of saying how black women are unprotected, right? We do a great job of saying how black children in reference to young girls are unprotected. But for some reason, the conversation gets a little bit blurry when it goes to black boys who are going through the same situation, because now these boys grow up fucked up. And they've never got the mental support, the resources that was needed. And I've seen this actually growing up, you know what I'm saying, when it came to like just different things, like mentorship, especially in the military. Like a female, you would find male and females that would say, okay, I'm gonna take you under my wing and I'm gonna mentor you. If you're a female, I'm going to put you in position. But if you're a male, there's not a lot of mentorship. There's not a lot of grooming for success. You have to be a self-starter. You have to be a person that says, hey, look, I want the mentorship, or go seek it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in the military, it's no different than a regular job. How many people have seen women get the door open for them a little bit wider because they're women? I'm just saying. Somebody says fathers left the boys behind as well when women say that. So here's my thought process on this, right? I don't give a fuck about what nobody talking about fathers not being in the home. That ain't the conversation. That ain't the conversation. The conversation is simply this. Whoever's in the home, whoever's a custodial parent, we know that there are fathers out there that are custodial parents, grandparents out there that's custodial parents, uncles, aunts, etc., etc. I want to know that when a conversation happened, why were young boys excluded from the conversation? Why wasn't their trauma taken into consideration? And nobody's answering the fucking question. So when this young man asks me, hey, why is it that nothing's being promoted for men too? Women are not doing it. Men are not doing it. Hell, I even tagged some men, and I really want to call their ass out right now, because to me, that's some fuck shit. We talking about everything else that's unimportant on social media, but when you get tagged, you don't tell me you ain't see it. Don't hit my DM. Fuck you. This is what's important. Can you imagine you being that young boy getting taken advantage of, but all you seeing is Me Too commercials about young girls. Nothing applies to you. Let me ask you something, y'all. How many black people in an urban community have access to resources in regards to mental health? Anybody? Anybody? I didn't drop the link yet. Somebody said I ain't dropped the link yet. Let me drop the link. Okay, hold on. Let me drop the link for y'all. I'm just curious. How much access do you have to counselors? Now, some people say, hey, there are counselors available. Things are getting better in the hood. Things are getting better. That's a good point. Babysitters, teachers, and more, and their mom friend, boyfriends. Exactly. These are people that these are uncles, these are family members. These are people that are coming into your home. Ladies, since we talk about the fathers not being in the home, let me talk to the ladies real quick. I'm gonna pull me in the mix of that. Stop bringing people around your fucking kids. Stop dropping them off because you want to go out and party every other night. You don't know what these men are doing. You don't know what their girlfriends or boyfriends are doing. Everybody's not an uncle. Everybody's not a friend of the family. Everybody's not mommy's new friend or daddy's new friend. We can stop this shit right now. We can act like we give a fuck right now. Because here's the thing. A lot of y'all know people that have multiple kids and they stay in the club a lot of times, but nobody ever says, who watching your kids? And see, some of y'all think y'all slick. Y'all leave y'all kids with y'all old ass mamas and daddies that really can't watch them. So you don't really know what the hell they're getting into. So that's when those pedophiles say, okay, let me have a little fun on this computer. Let me have a little fun in their DM. Because your child ain't mentally established yet. They ain't all the way developed yet. So now they getting fucked over. Hey, I tell you what, when your grandma go to sleep or your granddaddy take his dialysis medicine or whatever, I want you to sneak out the house. While your mama and your daddy in the club and they drinking and turning the fuck up at the strip club, I want you to sneak out the house and meet me down the street. Oh, y'all don't like this, huh? This too much tough love for y'all because some of y'all falling into this category. Well, hey, if I don't say it now, who gonna say it? Who gonna say it? Hit that like button, goddammit. Hit that like button. Are black young men and boys being protected from sexual assault, from rape, from child molestation? Who talking about it? Who's talking about it? Every relationship coach that I listen to, hey, shit, I need to hate black women, or I need to hate all women. I need to hate black men, or I need to hate all men. That's all they talking about. Are we really doing something to protect our youth? The thing about it is we can't even protect our own damn selves. We can't even protect our own selves. Everything we listen to is to pit one another against each other. And can you imagine a person sitting down, a group of people sitting down and saying, we only want to help little girls? I'm smelling myself. We only want to help. We don't want to help children. We just want to help females. Can you imagine how sadistic that shit is? Yeah, we know the little boy was getting raped too. Yeah, we know that. We know that. But, what about the little girl? Yeah, okay, yeah, he was getting touched. Yeah, he'll get over it. He'll play football. He'll be all right. He good. Somebody said on my page, they should start one like the women did. I got to start a fucking movement to talk about little boys being raped. No, wait a minute. Adult, grown up, man, woman, role model. How come we didn't start one At the same time, we started one-footed females. This is the same movement you use to condemn Bill Cosby, the same movement you use to condemn R. Kelly. But my thing about it is, it's like this. For Terry Crews, where was the Me Too movement? You know what? Somebody said, bad leaders teach the worst lessons. Somebody said, bad leaders teach the worst lessons. Can you imagine somebody standing on camera talking about the Me Too movement and they only care, or their only premise is to say, I ain't worrying about all. I'm not worrying about all children. As if young boys need to get it how they live. We already said fathers are not in the home. Right? Everybody wants to make that statement. Black men don't want to be at homes. They don't want to be in committed relationships. And every other little poke. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. To be honest with y'all, if I'm not in the home with you, right, and my son gets raped, if you're telling me that's my fault when they're in your house, they get raped by your boyfriend. They get raped by your uncle. They get raped by the man you decided that you wanted to be with. How the fuck is that my fault? We do a lot of blaming and finger pointing. Well, maybe if you was home, hey, shit, let me tell you something. All relationships don't always work out. That's why co-parenting exists. But the fact of the matter is, we as co-parents need to be responsible about who we put our kids around. But it's a lot of people so eager to get their vagina licked on, to get their penis rolled, they put anybody around your children. Can you imagine your 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old getting raped, getting sexually molested? Can you imagine that shit? And the only thing that the parent does is say, well, it's somebody else's fault. Are you serious right now? Now, I'm all down with the whole Me Too movement bullshit, but my thing about it is, how did y'all forget those little boys? How did y'all forget the little boys? How did you say, oh, children, let me cut this in half, but I ain't worried about those Dusty's little boys. The little boys are Dusties. The little boys are homosexuals. The little boys got low credit scores. Like, the little boys are now seen as grown men. And there are no educated women out there that says, how did y'all exclude children? How did you separate children? How do you do that? Nobody feels a certain type of way about it. Hit the like button, goddammit. Share this shit. How did you exclude little boys, young men, and then you expect them to grow up and be fucking successful? You expect them, can't raise a man that got raped. Can't raise a man that got molested. Can't raise a man that got sexually assaulted. You want him to love you, and nobody loved him. You want him to protect you, and nobody protected him. You want him to know how to be open and care and support his family, and nobody did it for him. Hell, when he was 12 years old getting molested, 5 years old getting molested, 3 years old getting molested. Did you expect him to be a man then? Some people got shit fucked up. Like, I think people say if you're born with a penis, you're automatically a man. That's like saying if you're born with a vagina, you automatically are a mother. Can we have a conversation? Can we have this conversation? So when I go back and I look at this shit, and I look at some of the responses that were said to me, I'm just like, what the hell? I'm like, let me roll back up here. This shit blew my mind. They need to start one like the women did. Why would you start something that only protects little girls? Why would you start something that excludes the other child? Can you imagine having a son and a daughter in the same home and somebody promoting the rhetoric like, check this out. Come here, little girl. Sit down. You are important. If somebody touch you, you come and tell me, okay? Right. Yep. Me too. Yep. You right, baby. You right. Me too. But your son, hey, go out there and dribble that ball. Go out there and run that football. Go out there and goddamn learn how to work on a car. Are you playing games with me right now? Are y'all playing games with me right now? I would have loved to have been sitting at that table or on that conference call or whatever the fuck happened when people start saying me too. I would have loved to have been sitting in that room and say, so y'all telling me we're going to develop something that only promotes sexual assault, molestation, abuse for little girls, that only provides little girls resources, that only provide women resources, not victims. Do anybody see what the fuck? Share this shit. Hit the like button. Do you see where I'm going with this shit? Can you imagine being that young boy that has been going through this trauma where you've been getting molested by your mama boyfriends, by an uncle, by so much shit, by the pastor, by the football coach, by the mailman? And can you imagine not having an outlet, that nobody's talking about it on these fucking ratchet ass television, on all of this fucking music? Nobody's saying if something's happening to you, little boy, young man, we are here to support you. This goes out to everybody that has a nephew, a son, grandson, knows a little boy. I want you guys to provide information to empower that young man. I don't know what the fuck is going on in these people's lives where they hate men. I don't know why it's like, well, y'all do it. Everything is a y'all instead of saying, hey, listen, this for victims, period. Bottom line. We don't tolerate touching little girls or little boys. We don't tolerate taking advantage of women or men. Victims, we are going to support victims and give them resources. I don't know who the fuck said it was okay to say we only protecting females. And then you wonder why people respond to certain things a certain way. Some women out there, sexuality is abusing young men. You don't hear about. Okay, this was something that was brought up on the questionnaire or whatever case may be. Lil Boosie, rapper, getting a stripper to have sex or give his son fellatio or whatever case may be, and said that it was a lot of people applauding it, thought it was cool, et cetera. My thing about it is, man, look, Lil Boosie don't represent the average working person, okay? This man has been in and out of jail, right? He sold drugs, all right? He's probably done a whole lot of other stuff that the average person has not done. Lil Boosie is considered a celebrity. If you are saying, if Lil Boosie done it, I'm going to do it. Like it's a lot of people right now who smoke weed, blowing it in their child's face. Who's listening to ratchet ass music, screaming, hey, twerking in their face, somehow, bust it. Come on now, we seen a lot of shit. We seen a lot of shit on this social media. A lot of y'all hitting share and like and LOL and hearts and all types of shit. And they kids be right there. I seen a video the other day with this girl. I think she was probably at least 15 years old. She was in a room full of like 7-year-old, 6-year-old little boys or whatever case to be. And she was twerking in front of their faces and they was smacking her on the butt or whatever case to be. And those people in there talking about, hey, hey. Some little hole in the wall strip club or whatever case to be, another little boy or whatever case to be, had a grown stripper on him dancing. Again, more adults. Hey! Everything is over sexualized. Everything is being promoted like it is so cool to be so free. And my thing about this, like, man, let these kids be kids. It ain't safe for them, bro. It ain't safe for them. Because you got people with different mentalities, and that's what I'm saying. However it is, in order to keep your child safe, you have to be in the mix. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't rely on somebody else to raise your child. Because here's the thing, when you do that, you don't know what they're thinking about. You don't know what they may teach your child. And a lot of people, I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of y'all motherfuckers is fucked up. Let me just be real with y'all. Like, y'all got so much emotional damage and trauma going on. It's hard for you to have a balance when it comes to raising kids. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, your kid could be literally talking to a goddamn adult and you wouldn't know because you don't never check their goddamn phone. They could be on the computer sending naked photos. You don't know because you don't check their computer. You don't know because you don't go in their room or check their car or whatever. So it's a lot of fuckery going on that you don't even know because you think, well, I'm the mom or I'm the dad of the year because I gave them a place to stay. I made sure they had food and lights was on. Come here. Let me tell you something. Come here. Shut your ass up. That's called being an adult. That's called being a parent. But it's more to it than just goddamn what I provided for you. What are you doing for them to get them ready? So that way they're not victims. They're smart enough to say, whoa. This motherfucker online sounding real pedophile-ish. Hey, mom, hey, dad. Ew. Give him the call. Oh! I'm just saying, what are you doing to protect them? You got goddamn middle school girls looking like high school girls. High school girls looking like college girls. College girls looking like they goddamn just going to the strip club. And it's crazy to see the transformation from, it's almost no difference. It's almost no difference from the goddamn club to the church. Same girls. Same dress. I can't do this by myself all the time. Y'all get this tough love, goddammit. Hit the like button. Are black young men and boys being protected? And the answer is hell to the no. We don't even want to talk about it. I'd literally tag black men and say, listen, bro, I think we should talk about this. I think we should have the conversation. And these motherfuckers was talking about every other thing other than the topic. That shit is scary. That shit is scary. We'll protest like a motherfucker when it comes to females, though. So you kind of got me on this stage where, are you pandering? Are you pandering? Are you making sure you're in there good with black women? Are you making sure that you look good in front of black women by just saying, oh, I'm only going to worry about black women. Yeah, that's going to be my thing. Are you Derry Jackson me, motherfucker? That's going to be my thing. Bro, listen. I have a crazy affinity for people who say, I can only strengthen one side of the body. Black men or men. Black women or women. And I'm only working on one side. And I'm getting this shit strong as fuck. I'm stroking their ego. I'm calling them queens. I'm doing everything. I'm paying for everything. I'm paying all the bills, goddammit. Like, oh shit. And you done made this side strong as shit. And this side right here, you did nothing to develop. You did nothing to groom. You did nothing to protect. Black men who don't give a shit about young black boys, but you care about if black women or black young girls go missing. You want to talk about sex trafficking? Is that a thing? It's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. But black young boys getting molested is a thing too. These same black young boys are going to meet your children. What about boys too? What about other victims too? If you do not want to have the conversation, fine, shut the fuck up. Block me. Please block me. Because this year, 2021 should be about having the tough conversation, should be about changing the narrative, should be about promoting new rhetoric that will actually help ourselves individually and collectively. Black versus white, men versus women, urban community versus suburbs, goddamn Democrats versus Republicans. It's so much. I'm on this team. Sororities versus fraternities. It's so much. I'm on this team. I'm a part of this team. Let me ask you something. Where is it getting you at? All this division, where is it getting you? You've been talking about dusties and homosexuals and ratchet females and calling them names. And where is it getting you? If our children are being taken advantage of, and we're not taking care of what we need to do in regards to our responsibilities, let me ask you something. As a responsible adult, do we have the responsibility of developing something that is going to protect all children? Somebody answer that for me. Do we have a responsibility? And I can't imagine bringing something when I start talking about victims. See, here's an issue. The issue is that, and I'm going to say something that a lot of you don't like, and I don't give a fuck, really. I am so tired of people using being a victim as a badge of honor. They pull on your heartstrings. They tell you, oh, I was a victim of this. I was a victim of that. Some of them wasn't even a victim, but they using it because they know that you're not going to question a victim. You're not going to victimize the victim. So if I say, oh, well, I was a victim of this, nobody's going to say, oh, for real, what happened? They're going to say, okay, you were a victim. How can I help? What can I do for you? What products and services can I provide for you? What can I give you? What can I help push you over the hump to be successful? And a lot of adults, they see this silver lining. So now you take those same adults and say, you know what? I'm going to produce something where now it's going to be for the protection of little girls. It's going to be for the protection of women. And I'm going to single them out and let the men or young boys fend for themselves. Well, my question to you guys is, before you start pulling on people's heartstrings and before you start getting those products and services and getting that stream and the silver lining, what did those young boys do to you? How did they break your heart? How did they let you down? How were they inconsistent? How were they untrustworthy? How were they disloyal? What did those young boys did to you to deserve not being mentioned in the Me Too conversation? Somebody talk to me. Somebody talk to me. We promote the wrong shit. We get behind the wrong people and we all screaming, oh, this is for something positive. No, it's not. No, it's not. Let me check this out real quick. Why can't they call the hotline and get a woman or a man to date? Why kids? My thought process is, I'm sure there are things developed for young boys. for victims that have been sexually assaulted or raped or molested. I'm sure there's some things out there in the community or whatever case to be. And I've definitely started looking in my own community so that way I could be more a part of the support process. And I'm asking that you guys do the same thing. I'm asking that you share this broadcast. I'm asking that you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I think tough love is on a different level. It's a different conversation. We're going to joke, we're going to cry, but we're going to build. We're going to provide solutions. It's not always about pointing the finger. It's about changing the narrative and doing more. Doing more, having a conversation that's going to change the nation. We can't leave everything to politicians. Can't leave everything to the community leaders. We have to take charge. And even if it starts within our home, at least we're starting. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mario J. This is Tough Love. Until next time, man, y'all are dolled up. Peace. I'm gonna holler at y'all. All right.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoot program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light. And who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker